everybody. Welcome to another episode of HPCritical. It's a podcast where my friends and I talk all things gaming. I'm Gerald. I'm joined by Kelly.
Hi, everybody.
And Brandon.
Hello, everyone.
And our wonderful special guest who has been, away for far too long. Which is my fault, because I should have had you back, a long time ago. Wesley, how are you?
Hello. I'm super excited to be back. It has been a minute, probably since last year at least, but I'm very excited.
It has been. You were here before episode 69, and it is episode 99 or something. We had to get what's that guy's name?
Damn, you forgot Sterling?
Wow!
Oh, yo, man. Don't tell him not to watch this episode. You forgot his name live on stream.
You guys know that, I was just telling y'all. Oh my god. See? Everything is just going crazy for me today.
Oh, man.
But, let's just hop into some gaming news for the week, if that's okay with you guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff from last week as well, because I think we missed some stuff from last week. I think someone just arrived at my house, so I'm gonna give you guys a topic to talk about, and I'll be right back.
What's the topic? Yeah.
This is from gamingbible.co.uk. The EA seemingly mock people who like single-player games, and they immediately regret it. So there was a tweet, which I'm going to read to you guys really quick when I find it. Oh, my God. Where is it? Oh, no. Okay, there it is. So you guys know that trend that's going on that's they're a 10, but blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So EA did one that said they're a 10, but they only like playing single-player games. Now, I, for one, love single-player games, but I want to hear what you guys think about that tweet and its reception, which was not good, and I will be right back.
Well,
was he drunk?
I mean, they said that they only like single-player games, so it's not like they said they like single-player games, you know? They only like single-player games. It's not really that horrible. I didn't read the comments, though.
I think, were they trying to go for, I think they were trying to say they should lose hot points because they don't play multiplayer as well. But I don't know. I think people took it as if they like single player, then they suck.
That's definitely how people took it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like weeks late to the trend, or at least I don't know. I've been seeing this all over TikTok a month ago.
The social media pages are almost always late to the trend.
Yeah.
It's, the only ones that I see that are usually on top of it is the Sonic and the Among Us Twitter page. Everyone else is always too late to the trend. But no. The defenders of that tweet, I will say that for their perspective was very similar to what Kelly just said. It was that you got your significant other and they only want to play a single-player game, so if you want to play a game with them, I only like single-player games. That's what those people were saying. The ones that were that's who were defending the tweet. But yeah, definitely more people took it as saying that single-player game's bad, and it was I don't think that was the intention. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, but boy, a lot of people who run social media channels had spoken out about this, saying that when you're a corporation and you have a social media manager that just posts out stuff, they go through different layers of scrutiny to make sure that this wouldn't step on anyone's toes, don't break any legal stuff, all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna say that this one didn't go probably through enough peer review,
yeah,
so that people would take it the completely wrong way. And boy, that's what happened. And then a few days ago, they basically just accepted the L and was that actually makes them 11. I was that the save needed to come a day earlier or maybe an hour after the tweet. Yeah. But, better late than never, I guess. It's a messy situation.
I love both.
What's up, Jerome? What'd you say, Jerome?
I said I love both.
Yeah, both are good.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels people... I feel like people just blew it kind of out of proportion because it's they only like single. I don't know. It's
no. I feel like the real problem is that it's EA that's saying it, because EA has had some bad press recently. So when you come out and say, well, they're 10, but they like not if they don't like single player games or whatever the fuck it is, I don't even know. It's been a day. You can't just come out and say that when people already have a way about you, or when you do you have a bunch of multiplayer titles, but Whatever. Don't they make that Star Wars game that I was complaining about with the white guy with the red hair?
They sure fucking did.
Man, fuck y'all. You see, you do shit like that, and that's why. That's why people
and that
game called Star Wars
Jedi Fallen Order, and that's a funny.
It's a single player game.
It's a single player game.
Exactly. And that was the funny thing about that, because obviously the Battlefront 1, EA's Battlefront 1, that is, was so multiplayer focused it didn't even have a campaign. And then of course Battlefront 2, as a response to that, had a great single player campaign in addition to its robust multiplayer. But EA had gotten a lot of flack for only focusing on multiplayer games and only doing these games as a service games. So Jedi Fallen Order was almost like a response to all of that, to give them like this robust single player game. And for a Star Wars game, its marketing wasn't like 10 out of 10. I'd give it this marketing was like a nice 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, it was somewhat obscure. It almost felt like EA was trying to prove a point with that game. It was like, yeah, to make it as best you could. I'm telling you, people don't like these single player games. And then it did really well. It was like, damn, y'all really like these single player games?
That's the same one that we talked about when they were when there was a developer who complained about making him another white guy, right?
Yeah.
That's that one? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know about you, EA. That's it. Wesley, were you saying something? I feel like you were saying something a while ago.
I don't remember. Oh, maybe I was gonna say that EA isn't even like the meme type of company on social media, so it's felt so out of nowhere too.
They're not. Yeah, that did come out of nowhere. Now that you mention it,
well, like they were just trying to be like, "Hey guys, look at us. We're
literally Steve Buscemi walking in with the skateboard saying, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
Yeah.
So Diablo Immortal. Have you guys heard about Diablo Immortal and how you would have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get basically anything in that game that you want?
And people are spending them shit-zillion dollars. Go on and tell us a story, Jerome.
Thanks, Brandon. So people have been voicing concerns about the game's in-app purchases and the amount of money that it would reportedly take a player to max out their character and gear, and at least one streamer spent far too much money proving just how rare and hard it is to get the best gems in the game. Blizzard, for its part, has remained mostly silent, likely counting its money and developing Diablo 4. This is from Kotaku.com, written by Zach Zwiesen, and the title of the article is Despite backlash, Diablo Immortal is making $1 million a day. I feel so the reason I wanted to bring this up specifically is because I want you guys' opinions on this. If it's like a free-to-play game, right? And we all know how free-to-play games work. If it's a free-to-play game, but your fans are complaining about just how much money they have to spend to be able to be competitive in this game, to be able to rank up and get the gems, etc., one fan said it would actually cost over $500,000 just to be able to play the game in a way that allows you to have enough gems to complete your character. $500,000, which, makes sense as to why they're making $1 million a day. What is this? Is this okay? Is this not okay? Is it okay because people are allowed to spend whatever they want on, their money on whatever they want to spend it on? Is it just extortion of the consumer at this point? How do we feel about this one?
I want to say first off that this is pretty ironic because, boy, Diablo Immortal, when it first got announced, people were not happy about it.
Because it was trash.
Because it was trash. And it was like a mobile game. It had that famous thing where they revealed it and the guy said, "What, you guys don't have phones?" There's there's that one. And then and that I think it was didn't Immortal get announced first and 4 afterwards, or was that a separate conference altogether? I'm just trying to remember.
I think it was before.
Yeah,
because I think they announced 4 as a way to appease people that were pissed off.
Oh yeah, the Blizzard way. Yes, indeed. Yes, sounds like the Blizzard way. Oh shit, we fucked up. Here's this cool thing you want. Yeah, I forgot everything.
Here's the logo.
The logo. Yeah, no. So I just find it funny that Immortal had such fan backlash. People were crying, and then it actually comes out, and people are spending the money. Now, obviously, the people that are spending the money on this ridiculous amount of money on this game are not the same people that were upset about it. It's Diablo. They play it. They have the dispendable income. They'll spend however much to make their character great or whatever. It doesn't matter to them. Ultimately, it's unfortunate because, you can yell from the rooftops, get as many people as you want to say, "This sucks, I don't want this." But money talks are much louder than any voice that can be spoken. And they're making $1 million a day. So they're just like, the money's there. Whatever, I don't care. Now to answer your question. To answer your question though, whether this is okay. No, it's awfully predatory of them to have that much money just to like max out a character. $500,000 is a bit much. Like there are other
a bit like what?
a bit.
That's more than a bit much.
It's like a mansion. You could buy a mansion.
Legit, you can buy a whole ass house.
That is like several house payments. $500,000. It is like I can't imagine like having that much disposable income just to max out your
all
character.
of my school loans, and then I can buy a house and a car.
Honestly, it's
that's the thing. Who is this? Who are these streamers? Too? Like, we gotta talk to them as well because like
what are y'all doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
How are you getting this money?
You're proving a point, but like you're also giving Blizzard
$500,000.
Your point, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Just like Blizzards are like, all right, damn, you sure got us.
Man,
as they pocket the $500,000. Like, dang, we learned our lesson.
Exactly.
Somebody's scamming here. There's a scam going on. That's all I'm gonna say. Allegedly.
Okay, hold on. This reminded me of a separate story that it's probably not going to document. I just want to bring this up real quick. Nintendo recently had their financial briefings. Actually, there's two things I can bring up. First off, I just want to point out that Fire Emblem Heroes and its I think 5th year anniversary is the first Nintendo game to make over $1 billion in revenue. So good on them. But what I really wanted to bring up was the fact that there is a hardcore fan that bought like maybe $40,000 or $400,000 worth of stock in Nintendo so they could attend the stockholder meeting, and then and they went to Nintendo and was like, "Hey, what's going on with some of your franchises like F-Zero and Mother and stuff like that?" And was basically just told that we're always thinking about it, but it's unrealistic for us to have sequels to every game. We talked about that last episode on the podcast, even about that. And can you imagine spending $400,000 just to ask, "Yo, when's F-Zero?"
I mean, if you got
and then they say like we don't have it.
Right? The worst part is the actual response. Like asking, okay, but the actual response, like I hope you were ready for the sad denial of your request.
Like that guy did not do enough research because Nintendo obviously listens to their stockholders. You have to listen to your stockholders because they're literally paying your bills. But Nintendo is famous for appeasing the stockholders while still doing their own damn thing. And sometimes the stockholders are not happy about it, but they do it anyway. So this man, I don't know what this man was thinking to accomplish with his $400,000, thinking that he was going to make that much of a difference. Nintendo's going to Nintendo.
But yeah, like Kelly or Wesley, anything on this one? How are you feeling about that much money that it requires for players to even like get to finish a character? Kelly, you're muted.
Sorry. I was gonna do a joke about, like, from BoJack Horseman, where they're like, I've heard of pay to play, but this is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know, to get the character fully leveled up, I don't know. I mean, that just seems like, it's a mobile game, but this is ridiculous. That's just a little overkill for me. But then again, it is a mobile game. Like, I know that people here on this podcast have spent a lot of money on mobile games, so I'm just... I don't know. I don't think that I've spent, or even that I will within my lifetime, I don't think that I would spend $500,000 on video games as a whole. I'm talking with yearly subscriptions to Xbox and PlayStation and whatever the fart else I have to pay for, plus systems, plus everything. I don't think I'd spend $500,000. So it's a lot. That's way too much, and especially for some fucking shitty mobile game. What are we talking about?
Diablo is fun. I don't know about the mobile game.
Oh, okay,
it ain't $500,000 fun.
It ain't that fun.
Yeah,
I never played a game that is that fun.
No. I guess we'll never have $500,000. I hope we know.
Hey! What are you talking about?
If I did, though, I would like to think I would not be spending it on a game.
I wouldn't be spending it on a mobile game. That is for damn sure.
The worst part about and what kind of prevents me from spending any ridiculous amount of money on any mobile game for that matter, is the fact that their life is finite. Once the service ends, those games are just not available. we've talked many times in this podcast about like game preservation. Mobile games are pretty much the antithesis of that, because once their server's done, they are just straight up pulled. Like Dr. Mario World, it didn't do that great for Nintendo, but yeah, once that game was done, it was done. You cannot download that game anymore, and if you do still have it downloaded, you're just gonna get sent to a thank you for playing screen. Essentially, everything that you bought in that game is nothing.
Honestly, I just think that this is so messed up, Blizzard. Why are y'all doing this? Y'all already don't have a great rep. Like, I just really feel like if you're literally making $1 million a day on your mobile game, well, I guess it's not, I guess I would just sit back and be like, why? Like, why are we making this much? And if we are, we probably shouldn't be. There's nowhere, like, I can't imagine me working there and being like, guys, we're making this. I'd probably be like, no, there's something wrong. We should definitely not be making $1 million a day. Like, we're on a whatever. It doesn't matter. So Final Fantasy XIV, they had these really cool billboards that Kelly and I talked about. Let me rephrase that. Final Fantasy XIV had some billboards. They were cool to some people and not cool to other people. And there's been an update on that story, but I have to talk about this one because Kelly and I are the resident Final Fantasy XIV players. Wesley, have you played Final Fantasy XIV?
I have it installed all the time, and I've been paying for like 2 years every month.
Oh, no!
But no, I do play it like every now and then. Last year I finally beat like a Realm Reborn, just like the base story. I have like a bit of a salty feeling for the game because you know how this trial that everybody talks about, and if you play the trial, you can play up through Heaven's Sword for free. Yes. I think.
Yes.
So back when it came out on PS4, I used the trial and then played a good bit, and that still counts. Like I can't use the trial anymore to play through Heaven's Sword, so like I have to buy it. Like it's not free for me like it is for most people that just start a new account. But I like my old character too much to get rid of him. So, yeah, every time I turn it on, I'm like, dang it, you got me. But that said, I really like it. I could sit on the main menu and just listen to the music all day. Some of my favorite.
We gotta get you into a raid.
Hell yeah!
I need. That's another thing too. Is I've never played with anybody.
What's your character?
A bard. It was an archer and then a bard, I think.
Yeah. Cool. So you're a DPS.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I play alone, so I just do everything.
We have to play together. You gotta come.
We should. Yeah.
And raid with us. It's a great time. I've been trying to get Brandon to do it, but he won't. But anyway,
play too much of them single player games.
I see. Well, technically, Final Fantasy XIV is also a single player game now.
It can be.
You can play through the whole game by yourself.
As was
you don't even have to join people. No, like because usually you have to join people for dungeons. They're putting an update so that now you can just join NPCs. You literally can play by yourself the whole game. Like you don't even have to play with other people if you don't.
That dungeon I quit and I haven't played another dungeon since. I think because it's part of the story. I think I'm gonna try to do that with NPCs.
You really should. It's great because they have little dialogue. But anyway, before I continue talking about how great Final Fantasy XIV is, so there was a group called Rain. They run a nightclub in Final Fantasy XIV. So I'm assuming that like I'm the only person who's been to a nightclub in FF14.
I want to go, but I'm never invited. So.
Oh my god, come with me! I went on a date.
Okay.
This is like a real nightclub, like
so
dancing.
What happens? Yeah. So like a lot of it's on the roleplay server, which is Balmung. It's like the official roleplay server, but it's not really a roleplay server because there's no official roleplay server. And essentially, what you do is like you go in and these like free companies or guilds, if you will, they host nightclub parties, and so you go in and they've created like their house. They've made a nightclub in the house, and usually what happens is they'll have like a live DJ. So you'll log into Twitch and you'll see and hear the live DJ while your character is like partying and dancing, and you can go to the bar and like there are actual attendants there that are literal players who are role playing as attendants in the bar. You pay them your gil, you get your drinks. It's a great time. It's wonderful. I went on a date on one. It was really awkward, but it was really fun. And I know you guys have seen the stories of like people literally waiting in lines in Final Fantasy XIV. So what happens is your house has a capacity. And so if you reach it and you're like at the nightclub, you'll see like lines of people waiting to get in because people have to leave so that people can go in, and then you just have a great time. Yeah, it's wonderful. And there's like a live DJ there on Twitch, and like you go in and you see yourself, and it was great. I had a great time. We like party hopped to like 3 different nightclubs. It was wonderful. Anyway. Excuse me. So Rain Nightclub is on the Balmung server, and they decided to spend a lot of money because apparently gamers just have lots of money.
I guess
so. They just have so much money, and they bought 4 billboards in 4 different states to advertise their Final Fantasy XIV in-game nightclub. Which is, of course, not going to make them any money because they're literally just advertising on these billboards a roleplay experience that you can come to. And also, it's kind of weird because if you don't play Final Fantasy XIV, it makes no sense. Like, it literally is just like this billboard with these characters on it. However, the billboard does have the official Final Fantasy XIV and Square Enix logo on it. And within that billboard, the characters that took pictures in-game are using modded content, which is, of course, against the terms of service for Final Fantasy XIV. So, what ended up happening was, once these billboards went up, a lot of people got really upset because the modding community is already like, hey, Square is always cracking down on us, so now you have this huge billboard in the middle of Texas that they're going to see, and then they're going to be really, really mad. And also, the Rain Nightclub is known for its more adult-themed stuff. I didn't say ERP.
I have questions.
I have answers for you after the podcast. But they're known for their more adult-themed stuff. So the biggest issue that lots of people had was that if you go to their Discord, which is prominently displayed on this billboard, or if you go to the website that's associated with their free company, you will see lots of adult-themed things. And it looks as if you look at the billboard, it looks as if Square Enix and Final Fantasy XIV are endorsing this event because the official logos of both are plastered on the billboard. So the community has been... Some people thought it was really cool to see these billboards for an in-game event. Some people were like, wow, you spent a shit ton of money for an in-game event that's not making you any money. That seems really stupid. And then other people were just like, yeah, Square's going to sue the shit out of you very soon as they see these. And I kind of wanted you guys' opinions on like what this means to you. And just to wrap up the story, the billboards have since this happened have actually been taken down now because the owners who did pay for getting the billboards up have received love and hate, but so much that they've been taken down. There was like a scenario in which one of the players said that they got banned. The player who said that they were on the billboard got banned, but that has since proven to have been not true based on what I've seen. So there's been lots of drama around this, but how do you guys feel about this? Like, I'm telling you the story. What is your initial reaction to hearing that someone paid like more than $4,000 per billboard for 4 billboards to go up to advertise an in-game event that they're not making any money off of, but then they also plaster the Square Enix logo and FF14 logo on there so it looks legit? Like, what are you thinking?
I want this kind of money to spend on games.
I'm saying
500,000 Diablo, 4,000 on a billboard. Somebody hook me up. I'll go put something out in the world. I don't know.
Really
it's
though,
crazy.
like I'm sure they had a good time, and I'm just hoping that.
Well, I don't even know actually, because something I forgot to tell you was that a lot of the people who were working the event, they ended up quitting. So I don't even know if they had staff to work the event anymore because there was so much bad press. Off of just people really not liking the idea of this billboard being up. People just being like, hey, you guys are advertising an adult themed thing and it looks like Square Enix is like doing this for you and you guys are literally going against the terms of service and plastering it in the middle of Texas like what idiots. Not my words, their words. So I don't even know if the event went down. I was going to sneak in, but I couldn't because I was busy that night.
Well, I guess we don't know. Like assuming they had a good time. I mean, again, if you got that much money and you want to just like so much income and you want to just have like a big party, Sure, I guess. I mean, that's how it is with most parties. After all, like if you're having like a house party, like you're unless it's like a BYOB kind of deal, you're pretty much paying all the expenses, and you're spending all this money to host this big party for people, and all you're really getting out of it is the fun of having the party. So I guess it's kind of like a really extreme example of that. But again, like you just said, Jarrell, maybe it wasn't good for them, and maybe they just spent all that money and had a horrible time. For their sakes, I hope that's not the case, but it could very well be the case.
I mean, the only way to find out is that we all have to go onto the Balmung server next Saturday and see if they're still hosting parties. It's the only way.
I guess it's the only way.
Right.
Right. Yeah, let me know next podcast. So
I'll just Google, what was it, ERP you said?
No, don't say it. Don't say that anymore on the podcast. Oh my god. Good times.
I'll just Google it and see what happens.
Oh my god, are you really gonna... Okay, whatever. Have fun.
It shows up
I've
some
heard it
tech.
talked a lot about, and I just
It
don't know.
shows like
I also don't
some
know.
tech thing.
So the ERP means erotic roleplay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Don't look for any more though.
Go ahead.
Like, don't do Google image searches.
Now
Also,
that
don't
you-
go
yeah.
into like seedy corners that are shady on RP servers.
Not like Gabe that one time.
You may find yourself.
Okay. Anyways. No.
No,
I
what were you
remember
gonna say?
we were. I think when we were on episode 69, we were all like looking up like
Right, that's what it was. I was trying to remember when that was. Like
Rule 34 of like everything, and I was just like,
Rule 34 Sephiroth. That's what I learned what Rule 34 was because I had no
right, you learned that on the
I learned
podcast.
so much on this podcast.
And me, Gabe, and Sterling had to educate you, and Kelly too. Wait, Kelly, you knew about Rule 34, right?
of course, yes.
Oh, yeah,
I've
it was
done-
me.
So
I was
Jarrell,
the
so
noob.
Jarrell,
I've been on 4chan before.
so Jarrell was the only one that didn't know. Oh, that's funny.
I Googled Final Fantasy XIV ERP, and I'm looking at images.
I feel like every time Wesley comes on the podcast, we do this to him.
I feel like it would be. I feel like it would be like kind of fun, like, but at the same time, I'm like, I have a boyfriend. Is that like?
Okay, so I've done
Invite
it
him.
before.
Oh yeah, there's like
I've done it
there's some
before.
morals in that. Yeah, what like
Yeah, like,
And-
am I cheating if I do that?
I mean, it's fictional, okay? I mean,
Oh,
also,
it's-
it depends on how far you go, also. Like, if you're just gonna have straight-out sex with
Listen.
someone virtually, then, I mean, that's between you and your morals.
So is
I don't
that-
do anything halfway, so.
Well, there you go. That's that
So
question.
the
Uh-huh.
I just have.
I feel like you have so many
So is this like
Anyways.
happening? Like they're meeting in the game, and then they're
Yes.
having their own little voice calls and doing other things.
Yes,
'Cause
it'll
I
either
imagine
be through
Final
text or
Fantasy
voice.
14 Okay, I was like, I don't think
And so you
Final
can, like-
Fantasy has tools so that you can do your thing, but
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
they do.
also, the people on this billboard had modded content. Do not
Sure.
assume that there is not lots of
Yeah,
mods for
true.
Final Fantasy XIV, because I have seen lots of mods for FF14, and you can type as if you are your character through roleplay, like, and then you just like flag yourself for RP, go in a little corner, and just have like virtual. How do you say virtual sex, but like typing? What is that called? Oh, I guess it's called
Sexting?
ERP. Never mind. Sexting. That's what I was looking for. And then you just go like sex in a corner, and then just don't tell your partner. And now you're getting a divorce like 2 years later because of some random that you met on Final Fantasy XIV.
Can you imagine the divorce
Can't
court
get it.
proceedings for that? There's like my partner sexted someone else on Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sorry, hold on.
It was a cat boy.
Let me try this again. But
I mean,
I'm
they are
divorcing
all
because
sexy. That's the problem.
I'm divorcing my partner because he was sexting in the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV with access to.
And the critically acclaimed
Yes.
MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, where you can play up to level 60 and,
And access to seven
around
Heaven's Word.
Billboard and Heaven's Word. Yeah.
The sexting is fine. If they get married to the person that they're sexting in game, then you should be very concerned. That's when you should be like, all right, this is crossing a line. Okay. Anyway, any thoughts on the billboard?
Okay, I thought the billboards were cool. So the first thing I saw of the billboards, I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. But then, like, it slowly just developed into, like, oh, you're getting a cease and desist from
Yeah.
Square Enix. Like, ugh. But, like, I still kind of, like, want to go. I've always wanted to go do that. Like, I've always wanted to go to, like, the clubs in Final Fantasy XIV. I think that if they're having, like, Twitch DJs and stuff, they have potential to make money. Like, what I would assume happened was probably people put in money to pay for the billboards, and then you kind of, like, could hopefully make it back. But also, it's like, if you're into that, if that's what you want to do with your time, then having people come to, like, your club in Final Fantasy XIV is like, you've made it or something. Yeah. Like, you could potentially make a lot of money off of that content. So we just live in that time now. Like, you can make a lot of money off content. So realistically, they could have made money. I don't know. They're spending like $4,000 each. There was multiple billboards. But like, the modded content thing, I had no idea. I mean, obviously on PC there's mods. Like, there's mods probably on consoles too, but like, there's always mods for games, but I didn't realize it was against like terms of service. I just wasn't aware of that. So, and to put it on the billboard, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I agree with you, because I thought at first, like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I wish that I had money and I could host an event and put that shit on a billboard. Like, half the people that drive by have no idea what it's about. But that's just really cool to, like, be able to do that. And also, to your point as well, they actually did this. First of all, this is, to me, one of those, like, no press is bad press situations, because everybody's talking about their guild. Everybody was looking up like this entire situation, so they definitely got some like people's eyes on them. And they also released it during the latest patch, which allows you to travel to data centers. So before, you can only visit people in the same data center as you, like North America, Asia, etc. But now they have just implemented data center travel, so that anyone from any data center can come visit you. So essentially what they did was like, hey, we have this event, we're going to put up these really big billboards, and now literally anyone in the game can come here, because before it was restricted to just people on your data center. Now it's like anyone that wants to can come over. So like, what a great time to put up a billboard to try to get as many people as possible to your event, just so that it can be talked about as the event of the century. And I don't think they did it for money. They did it to like be like, hey, this is what we do, this is awesome, we've got some extra cash, like, come join us. Now anybody can come. It's fucking awesome. Now, did they do it the right way? Of course not. Like,
especially because, like, why would you put the logos and stuff
on
like,
there? Yes.
People that know the game would be able to see your character and be like, that's Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
But then you're like, Square Enix is probably massive and rich legal team to come down with the hammer. They're gonna just shut that whole server down. Yeah.
And it's not even you did it like, you know, on Twitter. It's like, you put this shit big as shit. Like, you bought this huge billboard, and it's like, look at me, please. And then when they look at you, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
So this came out today from IGN, written by Ryan Dinsdale, that some BMW car features can only be unlocked with microtransactions. That's fun. Heated seats are the latest microtransaction available in some high-end BMW cars, joining other features such as advanced cruise control and automatic beam switching as monthly subscriptions. As reported by The Verge, BMW currently offers the feature in the UK, Germany, New Zealand, and South Africa for the equivalent of around $18 a month or $415 for lifetime access, available to purchase on its store. If a customer's car has the option to buy heated seats or other add-ons, then the components and functionality already exist within the vehicle, but BMW has a software block that prevents them from being used without paying. Yeah, so how are we feeling about this one?
We are living in wild ass times that they can just apply this to like fucking cars.
It's so funny to me. Like, it's not funny, but like, I can't imagine going to buy my first BMW and then like finding out later on that I have to pay a monthly fee for transactions. Like, if y'all don't take this shit back and like, fuck you guys, like, excuse my language, oh my god, like, freak you guys, like, are you serious? BMWs are expensive cars. And then you're gonna put something like this behind, like, cruise controls, like, auto in a freaking car. Like, why are you making these? First of all, my biggest issue with this is that these aren't even, like, exclusive features. These are literally features in every car that you buy. It's like, it's literally removing the features that you already had and making you pay for it. And if this happened in video games, like, with microtransactions that were just, like, removing any type of integral part of a game and then making you pay for it, I think people would be in a freaking uproar, as they should be with this. Why I gotta pay y'all $18 a month for heated seats? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm very upset. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick that my boy George McMuffins is on chat, and he says, "I mean, getting a BMW is already a microtransaction as it is."
Exactly. And then imagine paying an additional $18 a month or $450 a year or for lifetime access. But like, I don't want to pay an extra $500 after I pay taxes for the BMW that I just bought, which I'm sure is going to be over the $500 that I already got to pay. Ugh.
Man,
I could see a world where like they just keep adding more of this, and then we're going to be paying for air conditioning on a monthly subscription, and that would
your
be
car. Yeah.
like, what's to stop them if this is successful? You know, we've seen it happen in games.
Software block your AC.
Yeah. Your brakes don't work. Your card declined. Just a
And that's the worst part. You're gonna have to pay for it. Like, you can't even not pay for the essentials.
Oh my god! Imagine imagining barreling through a railroad and just calling. It's like, hey, let me get your credit card number right now. I'm gonna die. Hey, start talking.
Honestly,
Oh my God.
like, that's how Tesla already is. Like, the doors just lock when the car's on fire. Like, oh well, good luck getting out of there.
Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, excuse me. Whoa, any other thoughts on this before I move on?
I'm
We're good. All right. So, HBO and HBO Max Chief Content Officer Casey Bloys has revealed that The Last of Us will premiere closer to early 2023, which is like not really a reveal, but I guess it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Last of Us, the show, early 2023 on HBO Max. How are you guys feeling about this? Are you excited for the show? Do you want to see it? Is it too much Last of Us at one time? What are we thinking?
I'm okay with the show, like mainly because of who they cast, like Pedro Pascal as Joel and God, I can't remember the actress. I can see her face in my head, but
If you can't remember her name, then I don't believe anything you're saying. Because
okay.
if she was that good of an actress, you would remember her name.
Isn't she Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones?
Correct, and that's a great actress. Yeah,
I know her character name on Game of Thrones. That's it.
Yeah, same here. I know the character's name, and goddamn, she was a great actress.
Gosh,
but
they were both in Game of Thrones then.
they were.
It's HBO.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot Pedro was before he like really blew up.
Yeah, no, like I went to MegaCon. Wesley might know it. Kelly might know it. Shit, it's in Orlando, and I went, and Pedro Pascal was there, and the main thing that they were advertising was the fact that Pedro Pascal, he played Oberyn Martell, and that was the big thing that he was known for at the time. And now thinking about all his roles that he's gotten since then, I'm like, he went to MegaCon. Like with all the roles he has now, it's just crazy to think about. No, I love The Last of Us, and I think this is a good cast. I think a show made by HBO is a good way to do it, because I'd be worried if it was a movie, and I'd be worried if it was a show that was kind of like in a network that wouldn't be able to give it the right budget. Yep, that's a good picture too. But so I think HBO series is supposed to only. Do we know if it's supposed to be more than one season? Because I think one season is plenty to do the plot of the game.
They're doing the entire game in one season, which I kind of have a problem with. But
you don't think they could do it in one season?
No, I think they can. I just I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna feel like rushed. Maybe I don't know. In my head, before they announced it was one season, I was assuming like every season in the game was going to be a season. So like the entire winter section with the, cannibals and all that stuff would be like its own season, and David would be like the villain of that season kind of thing.
Interesting.
So like I'm a little bummed because like that is one of my favorite parts of the game because it's just so tense and dramatic, and now it's probably going to be like one episode. But HBO is pretty good, so I'm sure it's going to.
I don't want to linger too much on like the weeds here, because I think we should talk more about general stuff, but I do want to say this real quick. In regards to like the seasons things, the only really long season of the first Last of Us was like the summer season. That was like essentially like the first half of the game, and the second half was kind of like the other seasons. Winter was particularly short. The only way they can really lay from that is if they do the Left Behind DLC content as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see it. If it's like 10 episodes, that seems to be like the HBO standard. 10 episodes, I think it could be done. I'd be interested to see how it goes. Yeah, anyway, all that to say, Jarrell, I'm looking forward to the show. It may be a lot of Last of Us with also the Part 1 remake coming out as well, but I think that's also what they kind of want. Like, I think they're spacing out enough, because the remake, I think, is supposed to be coming out September, October. Which one was it? It was like, I forgot the exact date.
September 1st or 2nd?
Yeah. So September then. Yeah. Okay, and then this is coming out early 2023. That's up to 6 months later. I think by the time it'll come out, I don't think it'll feel overwhelming. Yeah, maybe not. I'm gonna immediately retract what I just said, because within 6 months you're getting 2 versions of the original Last of Us story, so maybe not. I don't know. It just depends on how much people want and how much they enjoy it, I suppose. But I think
they're also attracting 2 different audiences too.
Exactly. I was gonna say that too. Yeah, because there's some people that they just don't play video games, and they won't, but they'll watch the HBO show and get a chance to see the story. And it's a very cinematic game anyway, so I think it'll translate very well into television form. Let's be real. There's a lot of stuff. There's story stuff in The Last of Us that could be cut out because it's like this whole scene where they're just like, oh shit, there's 3 guys on us. It's to teach us waist high cover. That scene could probably just be.
I'm excited for the show. I wasn't at first because I didn't care. But now I care because I saw that picture, and that picture literally sold me, because at first I was not convinced. I have only seen season 1 of Game of Thrones, so I've not seen either of their performances in Game of Thrones, so I literally was not convinced. Kelly, you know this already. I don't know why you made that face. But this picture, this promotional image that they have did kind of sell me on the situation. And also, one of my biggest problems with The Last of Us is that I really love story in video games, and I hate that you have, and I've talked about this before, so I won't go on about it, but I hate that there are some sections and specific information that you will miss if you're not standing in a specific spot at a specific time with Ellie right next to you. Yeah. I hate that.
Dude, there was an optional thing, like in the part of Last of Us 1 where you are near in the university. You have to. There's a specific missable dialogue where you have to be like having Joel look up to the left at a sign that's like out of your view to get a dialogue. Like I was trying to get I remember back in the day I was trying to get the trophy of like find all of the bonus dialogue with Ellie, and I seemed to be missing one. I was like, what the fuck am I missing? And then I looked up a guide. It's like, I had to look that way at that specific moment to get a What? Why?
Oh, when I tell you guys that I hate that, I'm playing Tales of Arise, I'm trying to finish it, and I literally have to stand there for like 5 minutes while they all talk, because if I walk, I will walk into an enemy, and then I'll miss the entire fucking dialogue. So I literally, like, my partner was here, and he was like, why are you standing there? I was like, because if I walk away, they're not going to say what they have to say. So now I have to stay here for like 5 minutes to like let them finish saying it, but I do want to hear it, so I'm going to sit here the whole time. I hate when video games do that. Don't do that in your games, or at least finish the dialogue when I finish the fight. Don't just make it go away. I hate that. But yeah, as far as The Last of Us, how you guys feel about the $70 price point for the Last of Us Part 1 remake?
I think 70 is a bit much. I think 50 or 60 would have been better. But I mean, I want to say it's like being built from the ground up, but like it's really not. Like they seem to be using the same performance that they used for the original, because they specifically said, like they used, like for the scene with Tess specifically, they're using her same performance with the motion capture that they used for the original 2013 game, but now rendered in the engine that Last of Us Part 2 was used, so it looks a lot significantly better. So it's not like they're having all the actors come back and redo the same lines, right? It's very much using all that stuff again, just in better hardware. So I get it, but at the same time, I don't know if it can be, it's very difficult to justify 70 if you've never played the game yourself. Now that being said, I'm a freaking Last of Us fiend. I'm definitely gonna get this, but like I'm saying, for like the average consumer, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it to a lot of them, especially since the remastered still looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it on day one, so everything I'm about to say is silly, because I'm gonna be spending the $70, no problem, on Last of Us. But yeah, like we paid $60 for the original, and it came with The Last of Us and a whole multiplayer component that is pretty beloved. And now they're charging $10 more, and it's missing the entire multiplayer component, which I guess it comes with the DLC, but that doesn't equate to me. So yeah, it seems a little cash grabby to be. I mean, it's not a cash grab. It does seem like a lot of work's went into it, but yeah, $70 seems a bit much. We're getting less game than we got with the remaster in 2014 and then the original in 2013. So
I think my biggest problem with it, and I would still pay $70 because we've talked on the podcast before about how developers deserve the amount of money. But I think my biggest problem with it is, when did The Last of Us 2 come out?
Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020.
2020? Yeah.
So 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago.
I paid lots of money 2 years ago for the brand new game. I probably have The Last of Us, probably have 3 copies. One I bought originally. I'm sure I have it for free somewhere because of PlayStation. I probably got another one when I bought a PlayStation. Like, it's a lot for the same game. Like, even though I didn't pay for the other ones, it's like, damn, I literally already have this game like 3 times. What are they really providing for me to buy it? I don't even think of it as $10 more. I think of it as a full $70 because I'm repurchasing this game that is how old now? 2013 was its release, you said?
Yeah,
Almost
by
10
the time,
years?
yeah, almost a decade. 9 years is
And the remaster is how old?
8 years ago, because the remaster only came out a year later. It was like an early PS4 game.
But you can literally still get it for free on PS Plus, like right now.
You sure can. It's part of the PlayStation Plus collection on PlayStation 5. You have free access to the remaster.
So what would be the purpose of buying the same game again for $70?
It looked pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. No,
Fair enough.
It looked pretty.
Fair enough.
They've done some other stuff too. I think they said they've improved. I replayed Last of Us right before Last of Us Part 2, and it's still like a 10 out of 10 game, but the AI is pretty wonky. And
So that's
just a little stupid.
So
I think they're reworking all that.
That is one thing I like. That's one of the few downsides to the originals. Like that AI could be pretty stupid sometimes. The Last of Us Part 2, I think The Last of Us Part 2 is how that game was, how difficult that game was intended to be, because the AI was not stupid in that game, and I could not get away with it as much as I did in the first game. So I already know that when I play The Last of Us Part 1, the remake, I'm probably gonna have a much harder time because the AI is not gonna be so stupid.
Speaking of stupid AI,
where's this segue going?
Like, that's actually not even going anywhere.
Man,
I'm sorry to get you upset.
If it did, though, man, that would have been a godlike segue.
I was talking about the Quarry, and it does not have stupid AI. It just has stupid me who can't press buttons and kill everybody. So it is not stupid AI. I am the problem here. But yeah, the Quarry has the Until Dawn developer, of course. Supermassive Games has been acquired by Nordis Games, which also owns the Just Cause developer Avalanche Studios and Mercury Steam, and which is the team behind Metroid Dread. So they've also now acquired Supermassive Games, and I think that's awesome. As long as they are able to continue to, make games in the way that they want to, extra money is always great. But yeah, did anyone play, aside from Kelly, because I know Kelly did, Wesley, did you play The Quarry at all?
I have it loaded and ready to play, but I haven't started yet because I want to play it with my wife, Gabby, but we just haven't had the time to. But I'm very, very excited, and I have not been spoiled of anything, so it should be a good time.
Oh my God. You guys are going to have such a great time playing together. Did you play Until Dawn?
Nope, but I wish I did. I played the first hour of it, and I played it, I guess, at a time when I was too busy or something, because I just never went back, even though I loved the first hour. Yeah, I don't know. I need to go back. Speaking of Until Dawn, it's so crazy to me that PlayStation never did gobble up this studio, because
that's kind of what I was going to say with this.
I've always associated them with PlayStation.
Aren't the Dark Pictures games PlayStation exclusive as well?
No.
They're not?
Yeah, they're on Xbox. And
yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder why they never did. Oh, well.
I agree with you, Wesley. I always associate them with PlayStation.
I do as well,
because Until Dawn was the original that was exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And when I was about to buy The Quarry, I was like, damn, do I buy it on PlayStation or do I buy it on Xbox? I bought it on Xbox, which was a mistake because actually it might not be a mistake. Kelly, are we gonna play together on multiplayer?
I have it on PC.
Can we play together? All right, if me and Kelly can't play together, then it was a mistake.
There's a co-op, but I don't know if it's an online co-op. I thought it was
they just released a patch for online co-op. Yeah, but I don't know if it's crossplay between Xbox and PC. So I bought it on Xbox, but all my friends are playing on PlayStation. Wesley, what system did you buy it for?
PlayStation.
There it is. You see? Like that's my problem now. I bought it on Xbox because I wasn't playing my Xbox. I was like, I should probably play this thing, so I bought the Quarry on Xbox.
It does not have crossplay either. I looked it up.
It does not have crossplay. See, so I'm just gonna be stuck playing by myself while all my friends get to play together on PlayStation. Yay! Bayonetta 3 has a release date.
It does.
10/28. Bayonetta 3 comes out at 10/28. There is a new trailer. There's also a new character that you can play as. But most importantly, the announcement of Bayonetta 3 came with Naive Angel mode, which allows you to essentially play the game and have Bayonetta not be as naked. So, like, if you want to play, but your mom's around, or your little kids are around, or, you know, someone who does not want to see Bayonetta shaking that ass while she casts spells, and shoots things, you can keep her clothes on and play the game in a more modest way. However, the game is still rated M for mature, which, great. I think it should be. I think Bayonetta is awesome. I did not finish it, but from what I did play, I loved it. She's such an iconic character. Don't put clothes on her. Let her be free. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Bayonetta 3, October 28th. This new mode that allows you to play the game and have her stay a little bit more modest than normal, so you can play in the living room and not be weirded out by family members who think you're a creep doing ERP with an unreal character.
Or on the go, since the Switch, you can just play this game on the go too. So if you're playing on like a bus and
Bro, I don't care, man. I'm keeping that mode off. I'll be on I don't care where I am. It's Bayonetta booties out in my house.
As it should be. As the developers intended.
Wesley, you and I are kindred spirits, because I just want to say this real quick. Is anyone familiar with the anime Food Wars?
Yeah, oh god, yes, I am.
So, I have watched episodes of that on work break. And just the first time I watched it, I was like, oh shit, is this happening? Then the third time I was like, fuck it. Let's fuck it. If someone passes, you know, I'll answer questions. If not, I don't give a fuck. I don't know these people.
Who I am.
I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
I don't know these motherfuckers.
Oh man. I tried Food Wars, and that first episode I was like I asked, I was like, so are they just gonna orgasm every time they eat something? Like, is that the whole show? And the answer was yes. And I was like, all right, yes. Well, this is just probably not for me.
I gotta watch Food Wars.
That show's great.
Like,
You should.
Is it just because like the food's so good that they're just like,
yes, it's because of food.
The food's so good, their clothes fly off, and they're just like, oh, and I'm like, what?
Damn.
It's just food. Like,
hey Wesley, hit me up.
I get it.
Wesley, hit me up if you want to do Food Wars Speak. I'm in.
Oh my god. Since we're speaking on anime, Attack on Titan is coming to Dead by Daylight, and that image that they have looks so freaking cool, and I just think it's crazy that Dead by Daylight is still going in a good way. I think that in a good way. They've just been adding like tons and tons of stuff. So yeah, they're coming with an Attack on Titan. What do you call that?
Wow. Killer.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just losing everything.
Is the Titan going to be the killer?
I'm assuming so.
That's has to be, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really like
that
fit.
That barely looks like a Titan from that image.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's right there.
But, oh, I see it. Oh, that's freaking. Oh shit! I was about to say it's spelled Armor Titan. I was about to say the name of the Armor Titan, but I was like, ooh, let me not. It's season 2, but still, I don't want to spoil it for nobody.
You don't spoil it for me. I haven't started season 2. But I'm with Kelly on this one. I think it's out of place, but I also think it's really cool. It's so strange because they're like the Fortnite of like horror games, really.
Honestly.
And I never would have thought that they would be doing a collaboration with Attack on Titan because, like, well, is he just going to be large? Like, I don't know where. Like, is he just really fast?
I assume it just has to be the Titan form, but just smaller because it would just be ridiculous if they were full size.
If it's not full size, it's not real.
It's not.
I don't want it.
It's not. I don't know. I don't know why they bother. I don't know why they bother. The design alone is not what makes them terrifying. It's their size. Now the only cool, but I will give it some credit. Like even though you know if they're not big, it's not as good. All the different like the special Titans and Attack on Titan do have like different powers. Like Armor Titan, of course, he's armored. There's one Titan that has like really big jaws. There's one that's really fast. So depending on how they do that, it could still be interesting in terms of the gameplay of how Dead by Daylight is because all the killers have the different perks. So it could still be interesting. But yeah, still lame. if they're not
big. I also wonder if this is the right audience for this.
I mean, Attack on Titan is as modern horror as you can get with the way the Titans like brutalize the people in those shows. So,
but it's anime. I don't know if those like horror plus anime people like intersect.
But there definitely is a horror anime subgenre.
Yeah,
that people love, right? But like,
sure.
I don't know that my friends who are like, oh yeah, it's Freddy, are also going to be like, oh yeah, it's Armor Titan. Like, you know what I mean?
I've seen both. Like, I haven't finished Attack on Titan. Like, I've seen it, though. The first season, the first episode is just, like, so shocking. Like, you're not expecting what's going to happen. Like, you're just not. You're never going to expect, like, what's going to happen. But, like, as, like, a horror fan, I don't know if that's, to me, horror. It's a horror anime, but is it really scary? I know a cartoon monster's not going to get me, you know? Whereas I used to have nightmares about fucking Dead by Daylight and sing that, like, God, what's her name? With the axes.
The rabbit one, yeah.
Yeah, the Huntress. Yeah. I used to, like, be humming her lullaby to sleep and, like, looking out of the covers like, oh.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it does make me wonder, like, on the subject of horror anime, like, if the door, Attack on Titan obviously got picked because it's very popular, but if they did open the door to, like, other, like, horror anime, like, I'm thinking, like, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite,
to me, none of those are horror anime.
Tokyo Ghoul is not horror, but it's popular. But Uzumaki and Parasite would definitely be considered horror for me as far as anime goes.
Parasite horror?
I think so. It's body horror for sure.
No, never mind.
Parasite the Maxim specifically. I don't know if there's like a different one.
I still would not consider that horror anime.
Man, I would. That's just me though.
Well, you know what's not a horror anime?
Oh, what's not a horror?
Because I'm running out of time here. Kirby's not a horror anime.
Yeah!
He's coming out with a new game.
Let's go!
4-player fun and Kirby's Dream Buffet, which is essentially what is that game called? Oh my god, Fall Guys, but with Kirby. I've heard it be called. Yeah, yeah. So that's coming out. I think Brandon's pretty excited.
I'm really excited about it. It got announced on my birthday, which I'm very happy about. but the reason why I'm excited for it is because, I mean, obviously there's some Fall Guys similarities, but to me, it's more similar to, there's been a lot of Kirby games that have come out in the past where it's him not just walking, it's like literally him just rolling around and you just like going on a course or something like that. I think I've done some Doesn't Hold Up on some of those old Kirby games where he's just rolling around instead of just like whatever. And then it's based on like the gourmet race because you're literally trying to get as much food as possible as you're trying to get to the finish line, which is, for those who like Kirby Superstar, like that's welcome. But the most important thing, though, is that you can do all this stuff multiplayer. Now, goddamn it, Nintendo, I need you to put online multiplayer in this game. Otherwise, this whole thing is trash. You've ruined it all if it doesn't have online play. I hate that I have to be cautiously optimistic or cautiously excited for this game. But damn it, Nintendo drops the ball so many times on like having online on the games where it really would matter. Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which just came out not too long ago, has co-op. It's not online co-op though, so I was like, damn it. And I think there was a game that, I remember what it was, WarioWare Get It Together, which came out last year. I almost bought that game. I had a launch stream plan with Grayson because I know he was gonna get that game. It's like we were gonna play that together, and then a week before I found the game didn't have online. I was like, all right, stream canceled. We're just gonna do a regular part of our regular playthrough. Because what else was I gonna do? I'm not. If I was gonna play, if I would buy it, I'd play it like once and probably wouldn't play a game. That was the multiplayer was what was gonna keep me coming to that game, but it wasn't online. So Nintendo, this better have online. I will buy it for people to play with if it has online. This is literally changing. This is literally going to be the difference between whether I buy the game once or buy the game several times. So, do the thing. And the only reason I'm willing to do that is because they clarified this is an eShop game. It's not going to be full price. This is probably going to be like $20. Yeah. So I can stomach spending $20 3 times over than like spending $180. So I think it's whatever, however much it ends up being. It's definitely not going to be a very long game or a very deep game. It'll just be cool fun with friends. Hopefully, we'll see. So yeah, that's where I stand on Kirby's Dream Buffet. It also looks adorable. Like the images of Kirby just kind of like just sitting in like the cake, just like looking up with his cute smile. So cute.
Kirby's gonna take over the world, and I'm here for it.
Honestly,
just put him in every game. Just put Kirby in everything, and
just
it'll be fine.
everything, yeah.
I have one last story before we run out of time here, and it's about a League of Legends streamer who was trapped in a 3-hour match by trolls before getting banned, because, like, that's how things work, apparently. This is from PCGamer.com, written by Molly Taylor. Kuhari was slapped with a 14-day ban after the artificially extended match from hell. A Korean League of Legends streamer spent 3 hours locked in a ranked match with stream snipers before being handed a 14-day ban by Riot. Kim Kuhari Sohyun was streaming her Summoner's Rift game on Africa TV, a Korean streaming service similar to Twitch, when 2 players from her own team and 2 players from the enemy team decided to lock her into a lengthy match. With players from her own team clearing minions and informing the other team of her whereabouts, the match was artificially extended to over 3 hours. Attempts to abandon the match failed due to the majority voting against it, and Kuhari was killed a grand total of 120 times before it was finally over. It even looks like she gave up halfway through and started playing a game on FIFA on the side. Kuhari had stayed in the match with the hopes of not receiving a ban or timeout for going AFK, but she was later slapped with a 14-day ban from Riot. Presumably, it's an automated ban, one triggered by a high death count or mass reports by her snipers. Kuhari also submitted her own support ticket to Riot. Frustratingly, her match was so lengthy that it didn't appear on League stats site op.gg, making it difficult to easily prove at a glance what went down. So, the last story I want to talk about. How do you guys feel about this? Did Riot not handle it because it was probably automated? Did she just get fucked over by her teammates? What would you do in this situation? How do you feel about the whole thing before we wrap this bad boy up? How are you feeling about this last sad story?
Well, this definitely sucks for the person in question, and it's worse because it's not unless they saw the stream evidence itself. It's very difficult to kind of point out this issue. This is a very specific sucky thing to happen, and that's why it's so hard to kind of nail down the issues here. So I can definitely see why it's obviously Riot should do something about it, but I can understand why it's they must have go through so many issues constantly, and they're constantly working to ban those who are performing all kinds of misconduct. And I can't speak to their track record of how well they're doing on that, but I can say that something like this with a 3 hour stream where they're basically trapped, that's so targeted that it's kind of unbelievable. I would love to know why this even happened.
Yeah,
how'd they get stuck in the trap? I know they didn't want to log out or go AFK because of the timeout, but at this point, I feel like the timeout would have been better than a 14-day ban.
Sure.
I think you would get the ban anyway, no?
Oh, you get a ban for just quitting?
I think if you time out I think if you time out purposely, then you would get a ban anyway.
Oh dang.
Wow.
I think. I don't know.
That all seems kind of harsh. I like games that let you quit once or twice before they
hit
punish you. Because sometimes you gotta go to the bathroom or emergency or you gotta go eat or something.
A one strike thing is very draconian, especially in this situation.
I mean, I could be wrong. However, I did want to bring it up because I still felt there should be some form of fail-safe for something like this, and I know it'd be really hard for Riot or any company to try to anticipate something like this happening, but I cannot imagine being stuck in a game for 3 hours from my own teammates and the opposite team literally working against me. What do you do aside from just walk away and take a ban? There should be some type of failsafe for this, but I understand it would be really hard, and I just thought what do you do in this situation? And so I decided to pose the question to you guys. What do you do in this situation?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly.
No, if the person was streaming and they were stream sniping, then that means they have proof of this happening at least. So that is a good thing. So you can at least plead your case. But Who's got the
Yeah,
time
but
to
she
like?
said that the stream wasn't uploaded to because she wasn't using Twitch, she's using a different program, and that stream was not uploaded on that program, so there's no proof of like what actually happened aside from like I guess anyone who might have recorded it for her. So she doesn't have like a full 3-hour stream of what happened.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully she can get it figured out. I mean, that was like going to be the failsafe there, but okay, that's over. Whatever.
Rip.
Fucking rip, you're banned. Make a new account.
Right? Like, rip. I'm sorry that happened to you. Here's a 14-day ban. See you back in 2 weeks. Like, I would just never fucking play again. Like,
honestly,
I wouldn't play anymore.
Even if I didn't get banned, even if that just happened to me, I would never play again. Like, there's been games where my lobby's been hacked, and I just never play again. Because what's the point? I don't want to go through utter torment, and especially once you've been targeted and singled out, you think they're not going to do it again? Like, it's just going to be a recurring thing, you know?
Damn, you know what else is going to be a recurring thing?
This podcast.
Yes! You stole it! This podcast.
Wait, and speaking of this podcast, Gabe is on chat, and he says, I've been telling myself companies should have a failsafe for timeout for years.
They really should. They really should. Yeah. Because people are assholes now, especially people who are able to stream and raid and just go ruin your fun. Wesley.
Yes.
How is Dragonball Speak? Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah,
and
it's
plug the whole thing.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Dragonball Speak. We just made a Patreon, but it's like not like a legit. Well, it's a legit one, but we're not out here asking you for like tons of dollars every month. Just like a $1 or $5 subscription thing. Just because we have some equipment we want to buy, and yeah, we've done like 75 episodes, 74 episodes, so we figured why not. If you want to see someone who is a lifelong veteran Dragon Ball Z fan, and someone who has never watched it, that's me. Watch the entire series and then rank and review them on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. That's what we're about. It's a pretty graphic show. Over the years, it's turned into a very mature,
every episode has become episode 69 for us.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Wesley. It's Wesley. Yeah, every time you come here, the same thing happens. We're looking up ERP in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know what happened.
Honestly, you could marathon episodes of Dragon Ball Speak and see the gradual transformation and just how let's just say comfy they've gotten behind.
Yeah, it's there's things that happen in that show, and I'm like, I can't not acknowledge it. Like, it looks a certain way. They're doing something. Also, sometimes that show is real horny. There's like 2 characters who exist to be horny, and that's Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, if you want to hear us talk explicitly about the show, do it. That's where we're at.
I was just going to ask a question about the show, but I feel like it's a spoiler, so I can't ask because you're still catching up.
Yeah, we're in the Boo saga.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty. It feels like we're pretty early in it.
I can't. Anything else you want to plug?
Nope. You can just follow me on Twitter at LeBlancWest. I just tweet about video games, and that's really it. Yeah.
It's been so wonderful having you.
Yeah, it's been awesome being back.
Always so fun when you're here. I always have such a great time when you're here. I literally do. I have not laughed this much in a podcast in a long time. That's not saying anything bad about our other guests. They've all been great.
I
but
bring
they
the
just don't make me laugh
graphics.
as much. You really do.
Every Wesley episode's in episode 69. So
it's awesome. It is literally so fun. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Brandon. Don't say that.
I ain't got much going on right now.
Okay, well, fine. Anytime that I can get you on, I'll bring you back. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Wesley.
And speaking of having him back on, we may have you on very, very soon because I don't want to go into too much detail. There's a certain story on this podcast episode that we had to cut for reasons, but we may be bringing that up very, very shortly because I am very eager to have this discussion. And so look forward to future podcast episodes because we got some stuff to talk about. That's all I can really say.
And if Gabe's still in chat, y'all can look forward to him coming back at some point too. But in the meantime, a little surprise announcement: Christy's coming on the podcast weekly now. So anyone who has not seen the lovely Christy, who streams every weekend with Brandon on Friday, you can actually see her beautiful face. If you want to see her even sooner, you can go watch her and I talk all about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which, Wesley, we have to have a conversation about as well at some point. We have lots of Final Fantasy things we have to talk about. But yeah, you could go watch that on YouTube, and maybe the VOD is still up on Twitch. I don't think so anymore, but it's also on HP Critical, so you go to hpcritical.com, scroll down, you got a bunch of videos there. It should be still there. If not, you can go to our YouTube and check that out. And yeah, so Christy's going to be here, so Kelly won't be the only girl anymore. Yay! I'm so sorry, Kelly. Yay! It's gonna be great. I'm always just surrounded by too many penises all the time, so I'm very excited to have less penis on the podcast.
Not Fridays anyway.
Huh?
Not on Fridays anyway.
What happens on Fridays?
It went over his head. Just end the podcast, drunk.
I don't get it. Okay, well, you can explain it to me after. With that, thank you guys so much. Thank you for everyone who listens every week. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.